So, Demon Slayer, the film, opened in theaters. Um, Now, I wouldn't consider myself necessarily an anime watcher. I know my buddy Rich here loves anime and always is trying to get me to watch Attack on Titan every single day, every hour of the day. He's just like
Kind
that.
of true.
Yeah. And now Demon Slayer is almost the next nag he is nagging me with. Um, this is a story that Rich knows very well, so I give it to you, buddy. What you got?
All right. Well, so to be fair, I I haven't rewatched Demon Slayer like a lot. I saw kind of the last arc and then I didn't rewatch the arc before watching the movie, but I have seen all of it. I'm up to date. I haven't read any manga or anything, but just some quick numbers here about how well this movie did. $649 billion worldwide, $129 million US gross, 223 million in Japan gross. It's the highest grossing anime film globally of all time. It's the highest grossing Japanese film globally.
Wow.
It's the fifth highest grossing film of 2025 globally. I mean, all on a $20 million budget. Think about that. I mean, that's crazy to see, a 25x return. I mean, it's insane. And they have to just be licking their chops because they have two more of these, coming out soon. I don't know about soon, but they have two more lined up for this. It's supposed to be a trilogy of some sort. So, um, like unbelievable performance. And what's crazy, I have obviously thoughts about the movie is this movie does not you don't get backstory. You don't like if you've never seen Demon Slayer, you will have no idea what's going on. So like you don't have like any lore building at all. Like it's just boom, jumps into it and which is great. Like it's like that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to give like a lore backstory about how things work. It's just supposed to just boom, jump into it, and it did. And like all the people that watched it had also had to watch everything else. So it's not like, you know, there might be a theory going around that like, well, you don't want to make like a second movie or something that can't stand alone. This movie can't stand alone because you have to have like the rest of it for it to mean anything.
Right.
But even though you had to have the rest of it, it still did unbelievable in terms of numbers, which it really shouldn't be a surprise because the last Demon Slayer film in 2020, Mugen Train, did 512 million in 2020. Now I was actually the highest grossing film globally, but 2020 was an interesting time for movies
Very
to
interesting.
say the least. So, the fact that you had to watch all of it um, to mean anything is a testament to the fans. Like you said, I remember the night it came out. You said the fans really showed out. The fans really
Fans showed out. They
showed
were
out
there.
for the movie. I watched it a couple weeks later, but it's a long movie. It's over 2.5 hours long. It's a long movie.
That is long.
Um, what the fans of Demon Slayer love the action, the fighting, the art style. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous film. Beautiful fights, lots of nonstop action. The audio, the sound design is beautiful. Seeing it on the big screen and hearing it and feeling it was amazing. I remember being amazed at watching, Mugen Train with these very headphones about the audio design, and these aren't crazy like $900 headphones, and seeing it in the theater and feeling the intensity and what the creators were going for with the sound design, just unbelievable. And something that Demon Slayer does incredibly well, which a lot of animation doesn't do this well, is they have CG with their animation and that CG is elevating their scenes.
Mhm.
Whereas some CG with like animation or 2D style animation, it's just like, what is this? Like this is so cheesy and corny. It doesn't look or feel like the show. But Demon Slayer has, I feel like they've kind of been testing with CG in the shows and getting feedback and making it look really good. So it looks amazing and it definitely fits the vibe that the movie is going for. There is a lot of action, but they kind of layer it with they break it up with flashbacks and they have these different flashbacks that happen. And it's a nice break. It's not like they spend a lot of time in some of them, but it never feels like you're taking away from the story too much. And it's overall just done well. Again, the visuals phenomenal. Now, some people have like a big problem with the story and the plot, and I'm not going to delve too much into it because my brother has not seen it at all. Some people might say it's not deep, and I can understand
Hmm.
why people are saying that, but it's it's very basic, not necessarily for a basic audience, because I wouldn't call myself a basic audience.
Right.
But it's not like a Minecraft movie, like the Minecraft movie was just a meme, and like it was that.
Yeah. Made a lot of money.
It did. It made a
Lot
lot of money. It
lot of
made
money
it,
for a meme, so hell yeah.
you know, chicken jockey.
This is so fun.
So the despite the story, but despite everyone knowing what's going to happen, and kind of everyone does, it is so satisfying to see.
Mm.
Like even like I'm watching and I know, okay, I know where this is going. It ends exactly how I thought it was going to, and I'm like, it was awesome. Like this is awesome. This is epic. And um I don't have an issue with it. I Okay, so I do have an issue. I watched the
Oh.
dub.
Mm.
I watched the dub. And I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the dub. The dub, I wish I did not watch the dub because
Hmm.
sometimes the dub is can be difficult because, you know, when they're recording, they're trying to match the mouth flaps of the characters. And it's not a one-to-one translation because a one-to-one translation, you have the words on the screen, you can just read it. But with a dub, you're trying to match the mouth flap, so you might say a different word, and sometimes the intent is lost. The culture is different. It's made from a different culture in Japan. So if you're not if you're not really listening to the language and translating just the language via the words, the culture could be lost in some of the intensity. And I think just the voice actor performances, personally, I didn't like them, as much as other performances, other anime dubs, like a good anime dub, Death Note, Attack on Titan. Those anime dubs are phenomenal, and they capture very vividly, and the dialogue is still great despite the language barrier. It's sometimes it's not that one-to-one translation, and honestly, like I probably will watch it again with the sub, because you have the original language, the original voice actors with their intent, behind it. And I think this movie is going to change the industry. It's going to have a
Big
tremendous
words.
impact. What was that?
Big words.
Big words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Changing the industry.
Well, because I think now, like, anime's mainstream now. It used to be
I
a
agree.
niche thing. Now it's mainstream. When the Attack on Titan finale dropped in the US, it crashed the servers. It crashed the servers. And now, like, modern culture is talking about it. Tom Brady was wearing a One Piece shirt in an interview on Fox.
Was he really?
Yes, he
That's really
was.
cool.
So, of all the steps to wear a One Piece shirt on a platform like that, like, you have to go through a ton of steps to do that, actually. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. You know, apparently Netflix is gonna remake One Piece. Apparently Netflix has a lot of anime on their platform, already. And the success of Mugen Train, which was the Demon Slayer movie in 2020, did so well. This one is doing so well. It's mainstream, and I think Hollywood needs to take notice and start to. start to produce some anime, some American anime.
Right.
Um, I think to because they're gonna lose in terms of competition. We were talking about earlier. Some movies are made for theaters and some like you don't have to necessarily see. I think that's what viewers should demand. Viewers are demanding like if Hollywood's not producing good content, like we gotta say it. We gotta say, okay, this movie, like the viewers are gonna determine what movies get into theaters, and we want good movies. We want good movies for the theaters. Um,
Absolutely.
so I think it's gonna change the industry. That we had a JJK movie, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's another anime
Hmm.
that I recommend you watch.
Oh, I know. You told me about that one too.
We had a JJK movie come out, I think it was in 2020 or 2021, that also had an $8 million budget and made $179 million globally. These are low budget films that just that don't need a lot to like make it, and they already have the backing of a show that has millions of fans already. So it's
Right.
almost like a win-win. And I'm hoping for another JJK movie after this next season that comes out with everything that's going to happen. Tom Brady was wearing the One Piece shirt. If that doesn't say anything about anime being more mainstream, like who is it? Like Tom Brady reaches an audience of people who probably have no idea what the heck anime is.
They have no clue. What
But
the
there's
hell is what the hell is One Piece?
But I think there's a lot of NFL players because think about it. NFL players going into the NFL now are younger than us. We're 27. So,
It's still
or
crazy to me. Yeah.
I know, like they're 22. So like, they've probably grown up watching anime because it's gotten more mainstream. Joe Flacco, do you know who Joe Flacco is?
Yeah. Hmm.
So he said on a podcast, I just saw it today. He said he watches One Piece and he has his kids watch One Piece.
Wow.
Crazy. Did you hear about the IRL in real life Hunter exam?
No, is that based on Hunter x Hunter?
Yes, it's based on Hunter x Hunter. There's an arc in the show called the Hunter exam
Mm.
where
That's
people
that
do.
sounds fun. It almost kind of reminds me of My Heroes, like hero exam or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that
the
that'd be cool.
testing arc.
Yeah,
So
that
but there
arc is
was a
so good.
ton of fans that made a Hunter like an IRL Hunter exam, which like you had to be actually ridiculously fit to get through it. It was so difficult, but they live streamed it. It was a huge event with a lot of videos going viral about the event. Um, and like Hunter x Hunter hasn't actually had new anime content for like 13 years.
Wow.
It ended a while ago. I mean, actually new manga content's coming out, so the anime actually I think is coming back. But like even that, anime is becoming more mainstream. And I think Hollywood tried to do the live action anime. And I don't think it's worked super well because one, they didn't pick a good anime to do. And two, anime is very emotive. Um, and like it has a style, it has a feel. And honestly, I sometimes can't watch certain anime. I can't watch most anime personally. Like I watch anime, but I can't watch most because I can't. Sometimes it's too much. It's Demon Slayer is pretty close personally in terms of its anime-ness of um someone's face will change and it'll be like a weird sound effect or whatever. Like it's a little too much in a lot of anime
Mhm.
and it's very emotive, which is hard to adapt to live action because in live action you don't want to overact. Like like overacting is bad. Like it looks awful,
Right.
and the best actors don't overact. They act like a real person who doesn't have these crazy like emotional,
Expressions. Yes.
expressions and whatnot. So it's difficult to communicate that to live action. I think Attack on Titan would work, but that's a different conversation for another day.
Mhm.
So I wonder if like Hollywood's going to take notice and start to produce their own American anime in um, their own way. I think the
Right.
movie again, it's going to change the industry. It was a good movie. It's definitely if you've seen Demon Slayer, watch it. It's really good. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, I don't recommend watching it.
Okay. All right. That was a great take. I think like I put in the title here, what can we learn? And I think um, David, aka Rich, expounded on a lot of excellent points with that, with the theaters and how much money it can gross, and especially right now in a just awful theater industry um, kind of economy for in terms of all the money for the theaters. It's just it's not healthy at all right now, and especially coming after the pandemic, that has a huge factor on all of that. And
So
the
you mean
film,
theaters aren't making money?
well, theaters aren't making as they're definitely not making good money. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's in terms of um like there's been a lot of good films this year and last year that just haven't made money or haven't made good money. That's what kind of it's really an unfortunate thing. Like there was the film, what was it called? It's one that came out last year with Ryan Gosling, um, the Fall Guy, and it's just a great all around film that's super fun, super funny. Some good solid emotion, some great character chemistry, and it just didn't perform well. And we're kind of in an industry where lots of people don't think Hollywood makes original film. They think everything's a sequel or everything's a part of a franchise, and that's definitely not the case. I mean, there's so many one-off films that came out this year that's really good, but that a lot of people haven't seen. Now, I say Weapons is an exception. Like me and you, we saw Weapons, and it's a special film. And luckily, that film got the notoriety. Everyone's talking about it, and it's getting all the reaction video treatment on YouTube, all that stuff, and it's great. But there's definitely films out there that don't get that kind of love. And if more films got that kind of love, the industry would definitely recoup, and it would just make it just a much more fruitful industry for the theaters. And I think Demon Slayer is a great example of that. It's just bringing more people to the theater, like I told you before, um, like you alluded earlier, when I actually went to go see The Long Walk, which I recommended to you. I love that film, one of my favorite films of the year, absolutely. Um, and when I saw that film, that was when Demon Slayer was playing at the same time. And once I got to the theater, like it was the most packed thing I've ever seen it. I was like, this is insane. I wish it was like this every Friday because then the theaters would be booming. Like, do you know how amazing that could be? Unfortunately, we're not in a space that's like that, but hopefully, Demon Slayer can spearhead that where more films, not only anime, but just films that just bring excitement to the theaters, can bring more people and just make the theater industry boom and just make our whole industry that we love, the industry of filmmaking, all that, just better.